Today, I want to talk about the divine masculine. Now, when it comes to understanding the divine masculine, this is a totally different playing field than the divine feminine. So if you haven't been with us, first, hi, welcome. I am Ashley at theawakenstate.net. If you're new here, thanks for watching. And if you're returning, since last week, we talked about the divine feminine energy. And this week, I want to talk about the divine masculine. Now, here's the thing. I definitely wanted to do these topics because it is February and it's all about the season of love, self-love, and relationships. I feel like February is always paramount to this month of where we focus on relationships a lot, love. We see it all the time. We see it like, I don't know about you, but it's like, I love Valentine's Day. I used to hate it when I was younger, but I always find it's beautiful. It's a celebration of love. It's a celebration of love of others and love of self. And when it comes to the divine masculine, it's about we're learning how to balance out that energy of who we are away from society's conditioning of who we are. And I feel when it comes to understanding the divine masculine, it is about being in this energy of where you personally are connecting more to the embodiment of who you are. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a second. But ultimately, when it comes to the divine masculine, it's about how you can properly merge the intuitive elements of how you take action and ultimately how you can really own your sense of power. And that's really what it's about. So let's start talking about what it means to be in the divine masculine energy. Stay tuned. Okay, so are you with me so far? So when it comes to the divine masculine, I want you to conceptualize that, okay, so if you tuned into last week, the divine feminine is all about receptivity. Well, on the other spectrum, the divine masculine is the complete opposite. It's like if we have a yin yang here, this is kind of the dynamic polar opposite of the feminine current of energy. When we are not in a place of receptive allowance, we are actually in a place of conscious movement. We're in a place where we are consciously aware, but we're also not receptive. We're in a place of action. We're very in our active energy. We're taking the action forward. We're in a place of initiating. And it's like this assertive initiation energy where we're making momentum happen. I always like to say it's kind of like you're powering up your solar plexus because that's what's happening. You're powering up your solar plexus chakra to be in a place of personal power because that's where the divine masculine truly lives. It's like we kind of have our divine feminine is more in the sacral chakra, but the divine masculine is more so in our ego. It's in maturing our ego. It's in our solar plexus chakra because the solar plexus chakra is all about your divine will. It's all about the maturation of the ego. And most importantly, it's about taking action. So when we are in a place of our divine masculine, it's often about really being the conscious giver. Giving, but not over giving. Giving, expecting to receive, expecting allowance, expecting the intuition to come, expecting the receiving. It's kind of where you're in this energy of assertive action, but you're also aware of the totality of the feminine, which is you will receive. You will be guided. You will be led. I always like to say when it comes to archetypes, this is all about being the warrior, the manifesting warrior, because the manifesting warrior knows to let go and let God, but it will not stay on the couch. He will get his ass up and go because in this energy of if I know I am led, if I know I am guided, if I know I can move forward, I will be led and guided. I will know the right actions to take. I will move forward anyway. I will move. I will move, because in that energy, I'm choosing to not back down. I'm choosing to not hold back. I'm choosing to truly be in that energy of confidence and assertiveness and initiation, but I'm not going to get bogged down by my ego. I'm not going to be in the victim mindset about this. I'm not going to be in that energy. And instead, I'm going to take the action I need to take. That is the energy of divine masculine. I will not get bogged down by my ego. I will take the action anyway. That is what it means to step into the warrior consciousness, because this energy is about owning your personal power. It's not about receptivity at all. It is about conscious awareness and owning your personal power. This energy is all about confidence, intuitive confidence in who you are. And that is what will drive you forward to take the actions you need to take. Now, when it comes to being in a place of wounded masculine energy, it might be where you are burning out. You're in a place where you're a workaholic. You're not allowing yourself to slow down. You're not allowing yourself to rest. This energy of where you are constantly going, you're constantly on, you're constantly never ending, stopping, you're never letting go. This is what it means to be in the wounded masculine. And this is a very common theme in our society where we celebrate adrenal fatigue practically, and we celebrate stress as normal. We get into this place where it's normal to be stressed out, and it's like fucking weird. It's fucking weird that is like it's like, oh, it's just normal to be stressed. No, it's actually not. It is not normal to be stressed. Can we stop that stigma, please? This place of where you're never allowing. You're never in a receptive place. That's what it means when you have some wounded masculine energy. It means that you are refusing to receive. You are deflecting support. You are deflecting allowance. You are deflecting support. Now, if you think about wounded masculine energy, it has a grasping energy. I can definitely identify more with the wounded masculine energy because I always like to push the manifestation forward. I always like to be the pusher. I was always the person who would do all the things all the time and dot my I's, cross my T's, make sure I do it right. Everything is checked off. Make sure everything is done. Make sure it's all done. And then I might relax. Maybe. I don't even know. At that point, I'll still come up with 5 more things to do because that's what happens. When you're in that energy, you don't allow, you don't receive because you have cut off your own receiving. That is what happens when we're in a wounded masculine focus. We have stopped receiving. It's not that we can't receive. It's just we have deflected the receiving. Now, when it comes to this energy, it can often show up in how we take action. And I always like to say this is kind of like my soapbox thing, is you're either taking action from fear or you're taking action from soul. Can't do both. You have to do one or the other, because when it comes to understanding how to take action, if you're taking action from fear, you're honestly probably forcing, pushing, shoving, striving, and you're in this energy that isn't aligned with how you actually should be taking action because you're not listening to your intuition. You're pushing the action forward. When we're in that space, we're in the wounded masculine. When we are aligned in how we take action, we're listening to our intuition, we're being guided and led how we're supposed to, and it's kind of like we're in our own alignment because we're listening to our intuition for the actions to take. That's a different energy than really just, I don't know what I should do. I'm just going to keep doing things, or I'm just going to keep pushing forward anyway. That is different. When it comes to the divine masculine, it's also about understanding conscious awareness, because the divine feminine is all about intuition and receptive awareness. The divine masculine is about conscious awareness. So those are like 2 different things if you think about it, because receptive means I'm listening. When it comes to conscious awareness, it's more like I'm in control. I understand my ego. I'm aware of my ego, but I'm not letting it hold hostage in my mind. So there's an element of like, I have a conscious will. I have a conscious ego. I am in a place where I am aware of the ego, but I'm not allowing it to ruin my life. So it's this energy of where you are assertive and dominant, but you're not overly assertive. You're in this place of the observer. You're in the place of conscious awareness. Another thing that I want to cover is the main element that's very practical to understanding the divine masculine is not necessarily what you would think. It's organization, structure, having a structure, planning. It's getting your mind into that place where you can organize, have a framework, have a structure. If you were to just think about there's chaos in order, and the divine feminine is honestly more chaotic. It's random. It's very like in your face. It can be like really random. And then the masculine is actually more of the framework, the order. And there's nothing wrong with either of these two things. It's just we need both to come from a pure place of our alignment and our intuition. Now, when it comes to really looking at this, like at a practical note, we can really tune in and say here that the divine feminine is more like when you meditate, when you intuitively journal, when you decide to relax and have that self-care day. Now, the divine masculine side is let's get to business. Let's structure. Let's plan. Let's write a game plan. Let's get those aligned actions out. Let's start to look at what do I need to do to accomplish this? What do we need to do with our money situation? What do I need to do about this? It's very much an energy of get shit done, but from my intuition. That's a great way to describe it. Get shit done from your intuition. That's the divine masculine. That's the mantra. You can start to see how, like, if you have issues with a wounded feminine, then get into structure, get into planning more, get into looking at how you can write a game plan. Do you take the actions you need to take? And so forth. When it comes to looking at more so that you are overly planning, you're micromanaging, you're in this space where you're like making every little detail and crossing every T, and that energy will distract you from leaving the magic of intuition. So it's like, this is the balance. You can see how you can plan, but be prepared for flexibility. You can plan, but you still don't know how you're going to get there. It's like, sure, you can plan an entire road trip, but if there's detours on the way, if there's all of a sudden a roadblock, if someone gets pulled over and there's an ambulance, here's the thing. You can't prepare for that. You can't plan for that. In the moment, your intuition will guide you to the right path, to the right moment, to the right step, to the right tool, to the right teacher, and so forth. But you can't know that ahead of time. So when you're overly striving and you're overly pushing and you're calculating out your entire road trip, that's when it's time to lean back. That's when it's time to let go. Sometimes we can overstructure, over-strategize, overthink. And when we get into the place of overthinking the whole situation, then we're coming at it from, we're in a little bit of wounded masculine energy where we're not allowing, we're not trying to be in our intuition and into our, literally the part of us that is basculing. Okay, let's start that over. Basking? I don't know what we were trying to say. The part of us that is balancing out the masculine and the feminine energy. So you can start to see here how these two currents of energy are wildly different, but they both serve a great purpose in our lives. And they have nothing to do with gender, and they have everything to do with kundalini and understanding kundalini energy as a whole. Because what you'll find is that ultimately, when it comes to the divine feminine, divine masculine, we truly need to learn how to create our natural alignment. So that's really what it's about. So when it comes to properly understanding the divine masculine, it's also about structure. It's about awareness. It's about taking the action you need to take from your intuition. It's about let go, let God. It's about being in the action, but allowing. Being in the action, but allowing. And I think that's a beautiful place to be, is the divine masculine holds many keys for us to properly manifest and understand how to manifest from a place that's sustainable for us. You know, we can't always just sit on our couch and expect miracles to happen. You do have to take action. You can't always just sit back and like sing kumbaya and meditate all the time. Integration has to happen. It's the same concept of, you know, there is a part of us that can stay trapped in our head all day, be in spiritual burnout, be in a place where we have too much going on that we just kind of freeze and overwhelm. And the divine masculine can help usher us in to a space of, it's okay, take the action anyway. Remove emotion, get shit done. Remove emotion, do the work anyway. Because it allows us to get out of the monkey mind and back into flow. Out of the monkey mind, back into flow. And that's ultimately what the divine masculine is truly about. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode on the divine masculine. If you missed the divine feminine, I'll leave a link down below for you to dive into that as well. And if you have any questions at all about this concept, because I know it's been trending a lot lately, please leave that down below too. And I'll see you guys next time.